you come to school today? Well, boys and girls, it is officially the last week of school. Please join me and Mrs. Kim and her family in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, there is no Spirit Week this week, but we have so much to celebrate here for the end of the year. You are about ready to go to the next grade. Don't forget to join Mrs. Kim and I on Thursday for our virtual dance party. We're going to be out here rocking some music and doing a dance and dancing off into the next grade, and we can't wait to see you. But boys and girls, I have been so proud of everything that you have done this year. It has been what I call one big roller coaster. But you have all done such a great job. Your teachers have been nothing but amazing, and your families have been nothing but amazing to all of us, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Boys and girls, this is the favorite part of my job, when I get to give these amazing awards to our amazing hounds. 2 students from each class are winning the Do Your Best Award. They have done everything they can this year to help others, own their actions, use a positive attitude, navigate the future, and our last one, do their best. Here they are.
All right, Hickory Hounds, with our Do Your Best Award in kindergarten in Mrs. Dupree's class, Zachary D. And Beatrix B. In Mrs. Evans' class, Nina K. and Maxwell L. In Mrs. Hammond's class, Paisley B. and Leah A. In Mrs. Kawanaki's class, Yuto N. and Julieta H. In Miss Leland, Emma H. and Soma I. Great job, kindergartners.
First grade from Mrs. Barnes' class, Jaden S. and Caden W. In Mrs. Cruz's class, Gregory L. and Leona C. From Mrs. Mar's class, Changhoon Y. and Oscar R. From Miss Wan's class, Graham M. and Jake N. From Mrs. Watanuki's class, Akashi N. and Yuma T. And from Mrs. Yamamoto's class, Simon K. and Raylan S. Great job, first graders.
In second grade in Mrs. Bartow's class, Braden C. and Katrina T. In Mrs. Collins' class, Anthony L. and Caden D. In Mrs. Ondo's class, Remy K. and Dominic T. In Mrs. O'Peeman's class, Cameron K. and Kaylani T. In Mrs. Sepulveda's class, Christopher D. and Matthew Y. In Mrs. Tyrell's class, Lindsay K. and Jacob M. Awesome job, second graders.
Moving on to third grade from Mrs. Bond's class, Reagan S. and Arnab M. From Mrs. Christian's class, Yuka S. and Kyra C. From Mrs. Davis's class, Caitlin B. and Noah D. From Miss Miyamura's class, Aaron O. and Chris F. From Mrs. Risk's class, Eliora K. and Sasuke D. And from Mrs. Tynan's class, Carly L. and Mark K. Great job, third graders.
In fourth grade, in Mrs. Benedetti's class, Yuli S. and Hamza B. In Miss Fitzgerald's class, Soy P. and Derek S. In Mrs. Grace's class, Brian T. and Caitlin N. In Mrs. Halverson's class, Abdul R. and Diana K. In Miss Legaspi's class, Rena K. and Jacob C. In Mrs. Zimmerman's class, Hannah N. and Yanhook J. Great job, fourth graders.
And now in fifth grade, from Mrs. Clark's class, Casey D. and Logan H. From Miss Fawcett's class, Gio Kim and Aaron M. From Mrs. Legrande's class, Rylan O. and Haley R. And from Mrs. Pendrick's class, Emily F. and Nicanor E. And from Mrs. PJ's class, Yusuke O. and Eva E. And from Mrs. Sardisco's class, Stella S. and Matthew C. Great job, fifth graders.
Well, boys and girls, that is the end of our assembly. Please stand up and show me your paws. Proud to be a hound. Attitude is everything. We are creative and confident. Share, shine, succeed. Have a wonderful last week of school and see you at the virtual dance party.